Hey, I gotta gas up. We're at the intersection of Interstate 75 and Highway 50. Can you figure out where we're going today? Well, we're having a little difficulty here, and Woody's going to post up something to the announcement there on FloridaJeepRides that we're leaving the 7-Eleven. Right now, Verizon has totally lost signal. We can't get to internet, we can't get to Messenger, we can't get to Facebook, and now we're trying to figure it out. But we're going to head up into Croom anyway. Welcome to Croom. We are going to ride around a little bit here and do some visiting to different places. We had some people who we were unable to contact because of that whole Verizon debacle. But we're right now passing the people who's got some boxers, horses and boxers. Croom is a wildlife management area, and during hunting season, there are people hunting out here. It does require a wildlife management area permit. Just on time. I see some more Jeeps coming. And we got our internet back. We have with us Woody and Carol and Ogre.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Porter, what channel are you guys on?
GMRS or CB?
I don't have my GMRS. I mean, I have a GMRS radio.
I've got one with me. I can loan you. We're on 22.
How you doing, Matt?
Eric.
I don't know.
He hasn't named it yet. He just got it.
This is Jeep.
Rich is.
It's got a very unique name. He calls the Jeep Rubicon. Very unique. Rubicon with us, Gladiator, and this is
Eric and Tanya.
Eric and Tanya. Well, you don't have to air down at Croom unless you want a nicer, smoother ride. But judging by this vehicle, its tires are huge. What size tires are those?
40s.
40-inch tires. So in the beginning, you will pass residential areas. There are a lot of signs that say stuff like, warning, no ATVs.
Absolutely no ATVs.
Just be respectful of the people that live back here. So it could very well be a prescribed burn because it's on one side but not the other side. And that does clear out all the little underbrush and everything. As you can see, it's still smoldering. I'd need to check the website to see whether that is a prescribed burn. There's actually a site that tells you. And in addition to that, it didn't look like a prescribed burn just because of the way it was all patchy. But it definitely was fresh. Just a little bit of state of the trail. So far it's pretty dry. There's prescribed burns that look like they're going on. There's actually a website, I'll put the link below, that you can see where and when they're doing prescribed burns.
Okay. And there's a biking trail that runs through here. Keep people from going off.
Though this area looks like a really good playground, it's actually off limits. How would I know that that area is off limits? People will take down the signs. This is what the sign says. No vehicles beyond this point. I get told that I harp too much on that. It's not that I'm harping. I just know that the ticket can be pretty hefty. If you want an experience like that, where you can have a lot of fun and go through a lot of hilly stuff, may I suggest Hard Rock, the Old Florida Off-Road Park, Suburban Estates. Great places, great opportunities. But this is a wildlife management area where they manage everything. Wait for the white Jeep to get right behind you.
Stomp on it.
Look both ways before crossing that road. There is a pretty cool washout, and there are some water holes that are usually here.
Nobody's gonna brave the puddle.
That water hole on several occasions. Your 40-inch tires shouldn't be an issue. Clay, where are you? Now we're going up the ravine. State of the trail for Croom. There are some pockets with a little bit of water here and there. There are some mud holes here and there. But even a lot of those are dried out. Right in front of us is a mud hole, and you almost would have to pick the worst line possible to even get into the mud. As you can see, water.
Yes.
So could you imagine me being in knee-deep water and finding this hole?
That would be fun.
Woody's hooking me up with a soft shackle and a rope, and we're gonna do recovery. That's kinetic?
That's
Yes.
why the wood shackle,
Okay.
the soft shackles.
Soft shackle. So it looks like we're pretty much framed out. These are not mud tires, but you can see where I'm kind of, my differential's buried down under there. My tires are down in. I've spun up a whole bunch of stuff, but we're gonna run a kinetic rope, so make sure nobody stands where it's gonna fling. Good to go. Just like that, I'm out.
Woody, thank you.
Thank you, Woody.
That's why you go in the department.
Way to show me up with your street tires.
And that's how it's done.
Oh, that's gonna bite you in the ass later, boy.
With mud tires, when you go through the mud, it flings the mud out of the lugs, between the lugs here. And when that happens, you still have your traction. When you have all-terrain tires, it kind of fills up. So now you have pretty much
Slicks.
what looks like a slick.
You don't even have
Even my ridge grapplers have no tread showing. So if you're in Florida and you off-road through mud, you do need to get mud tires. Hey Tim, I got stuck. And it wasn't even full of water.
Yes, during certain times of the year, this is one of the areas I've never hardly seen any.
Yeah.
Road number 2 is usually full of water holes that peg you to get stuck in them. It's dry. It's still dry. Even with all the rain, I am surprised at how dry road number 2 is. We're not done yet. We still got to get to the lowest portion, which is either at the end or the beginning, depending on which way.
You want to drive it on the top a little bit more? You know?
So we stopped on the edge of the field where all those flowers are. Oh man, you can smell the flowers. It smells so good. And those purple passion flowers all over the place in that field.
So this area that we're going down into has a couple holes on it. That means we're almost on the far eastern side of road number 2.
Don't stop, don't stop. Keep going.
No problem. It's not clean anymore. Jeepers are proud of their mud. You will find Jeepers who wear their mud for a day or two
That's one. You'll find Jeepers who never wash their Jeep because it's like battle scars. And then you'll find people who go home and immediately get out the pressure washer. Now, let me tell you, doesn't matter what kind you are, mud, when it gets into your axle seals, Florida is not really mud. It's just wet, dirty sand. And when it gets into those axle seals and eats up the axles, then it gets into your differential, and pretty soon you'll be like me and have two broken spider gears in the blue Jeep and the red Jeep because dirt and mud. What are you gonna do when you get home?
Pressure wash the crap out of this thing.
Can I write my name on it?
No.
Draw a smiley face?
No. Like I tell my grandkids, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And why would something so cool be something that you shouldn't do? Because again, like I said, this really isn't mud. This is just dirty sand. And sand is like sandpaper. And when you write on the dirt, you're sanding your paint.
So we can have a permanent
So you could have a permanent name written on the side of your Jeep where your shiny clear coat's gone. So what kind of Jeeper are you? Are you one that wears your mud for a long time? A couple of days, or do you wash it off immediately? This is the final spot, and you can see I'm down in here. If the water was up to here on this wall, that would put it up to my headlights, and if this mud was soft, it'd probably be dipping down. A lot of deer tracks through here. Congratulations. We are at the new Riverside restaurant in Nobleton, about to get an incredible hamburger. So you're the grandma now.
I am.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
How many do you have?
10. This is the New River restaurant, home of the
Nobleton Burger.
The Nobleton Burger, which I got a double patty last time.
Oh, did you? Oh, that's
Yeah.
right, you did.
And
I've got a new burger now, which is my black and blue burger.
Well, we're gonna try the black and blue burger,
Okay.
even though I'm wearing my biscuits and
I'm
gravy
too late for
shirt.
biscuits and gravy.
But if you need breakfast, so if you are in Croom riding, just to the north is the
Yes.
New River restaurant, and this is the owner
The owner,
who used to be the
server.
server who bought the store. So there's a story behind everything. And I can tell you, when somebody makes the food that loves making the food, it makes a really, really big difference.
Yes, it does.
And this place has awesome food.
Grilled onions, the mushrooms, black olives, and Swiss cheese. And when you bite into it, you have to lick your arms.
That's juicy goodness. Now, if you don't normally add a second patty, but if somebody wanted a second patty, it's going to cost.
It's going to cost you, but I can do it. We're
But
better
you
than
can do
Burger
it.
King.
We're blaming you.
What did you do?
Nobleton
What?
And the BLT on wheat.
Thank you, dear.
BLT on wheat
Perfect, perfect.
and the Nobleton.
With onion rings.
And
Getting me? And the two
Look.
fish, potato fries, and veggies.
ooh. I don't think I'm going to be able to get my mouth around it, but let's try.
My toothpicks weren't big enough.
I just know you're gonna need it.
Ready? Oh, it's hot. There's jalapenos in there too?
Because jalapeno bacon and blue cheese.
one we wanted.
And the grease dripping nice here. Get to make sure you get the grease dripping down.
Limb risers on ours.
Let me tell you, 2 patties, 8
His
ounces
wife made
each,
him lie to you, okay?
bacon,
That's matters to me.
blue cheese, jalapeno peppers, and it is right in my mouth. This is the burger
to get here. Y'all have a great time. We're not finished with our trail ride. We still gotta head to a place down in Croom where we can find a little bit of history in a Confederate graveyard. Hey, this is the northwest area of Croom. We came down from Nobleton after eating at the New River restaurant and had a absolutely wonderful meal. That was an awesome hamburger, and we're back on the trail. And we're gonna make our way through here till we can get all the way out to a graveyard that is in Croom.
Right here.
Whoa. Look at that hole. So that's Croom. It's a wildlife management area. We're coming up on Croom Road, which is going to take us over by the ranger station. So we got a little bit of pavement time here.
There she goes. That's her house.
Well, we are on a little hiking trail, making our way to the graveyard. All right. B-roll.
Consumption, pulmonary consumption. 1844.
Henry Crawford Tucker was the first sergeant in the volunteer army in the state of Georgia, fighting for the Confederate States Army. He was born November 17th in 1841. He was married to Martha, and they lived here in Croom on a 50-acre plot in their homestead. They had 13 children. Well, he eventually did die on December 7th. Remember that day, December 7th, 1894. Martha, his wife, said that he had died from a pulmonary problem, also known as tuberculosis. Well, she survived her husband, and she lived another 15 years out here on the homestead, and this is some beautiful land. Well, Martha eventually passed away as well. She passed away on December 7th, to the day, in 1909, 15 years later. He wasn't the only one. There's also another grave here with an interesting story, and that is the grave of William Hop Smith, Sheriff Smith, who served as sheriff for Hernando County for 2 years. Another representative who served at the same time was Marvel Edwards. The two of them, the sheriff and Marvel, were out drinking one night, And apparently they had some kind of discussion, as when you do drink, you certainly say things that you probably shouldn't say. And Edwards declared that he was the best man in all of Hernando County. He only weighed 144 pounds. Well, Sheriff Hops basically said, that's a dang lie, except for he used different words. Well, this infuriated Edwards, and so he lunged or jumped or came at the sheriff, who took his pistol and unloaded it into the chest of Edwards. You think that would have put him down on the spot, but instead, Edwards proceeded to beat mercilessly the sheriff and beat him down until he finally succumbed to his wound and died. The sheriff got up and he stomped on the body of Edwards, took Edwards' horse and rode off and said, looks like I'm going to be spending a few years out in the swamps. Well, he was eventually caught. He was taken before a justice of peace, and they determined that he was acting in self-defense. So from a $500 bail, he was released of the charges. Hey, well, thanks for joining us. It's been a Florida Jeep Ride. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. I'm Matt.
I'm Woody.
I'm Carol. And I'm Randy.
We'll see you on the next trail. And you thought the video was over.
It is.
Well, let me tell you what. We're driving out of Croom, and Randy says,
Hey, girl.
what kind of tires do we have? I don't like that we got stuck. Well, guess what? The road dog may have moved on, but it left its shoes behind. And so we have purchased, for this Jeep, a set of mud tires. Well, they fit. Now we got to get home.
Okay, I'm thinking.
Tell you when.
She's already taken.
No.
No.
But we're thinking Halloween, so you can wear your Star Trek uniform.
Not did you see what he just said to you?
I refuse to answer that, and this is going in the bloopers because he made a faux pas.
Star Wars.
Maybe a Freudian slip. Maybe he's a Trekkie or Trekker.
Oh, I swing both ways. Trek and Star Wars.
You can't do both, sorry. You're
Yes,
one
you
or the
can.
other.
Oh, yeah, you can.
I like both, but
What do you mean? The Millennium Falcon was in the battle with the Borg.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
yeah.
Yeah, well, he is.
Yeah.
You see the
Yeah, I'll go look that up.
making a gun run on the Borg.
And anyway, if y'all didn't know that, I have an authentic Darth Vader suit that is an inch thick of pleather with a wool inner cape and a full wool outer cape and a neck seal, and all of the heat has nowhere to go but up into the helmet, and it is miserably hot. And plus Darth Vader with this that doesn't work.
Only photos. I love it. Okay, this is not Randy.
Hey.
Okay, that was just our fun.